Netflix is an American company based in Los Gatos, California, in the United States. It has grown exponentially over the last decade to the point of becoming one of the largest production companies in the country. The company's primary business is an online streaming service that offers a massive variety of films and shows for a monthly fee. Some of these shows are produced by the company itself. Starting 2012, Netflix has taken a more active role in producing shows and films, rather than just hosting them, so as to provide an example of its impressive reach. In 2016, Netflix released more original series than any other cable channel. To better advertise themselves, they have created the concept and trademark of Netflix Originals. All of the series and movies produced by the company itself are known and categorized under that specific brand. Within their online platform, all of these shows and movies have a special category dedicated only to them. The sheer amount and variety of Netflix originals is staggering. Following the trend of the company's rapid growth, several other companies, big and small, have been hired by Netflix to help with production. They have no limit. Their reach crosses international borders as well as any and all categories of film. With such a large scope of production, it comes as no surprise that the content reaches so many different genres. But I believe it would be interesting to talk about one of them in particular, and that type of film is animation, which is to say, moving pictures produced manually that do not have visible actors in real life scenes. Rather notably, Netflix has reinvigorated the animation industry by hosting and producing several new animated shows and movies. And partly, at least, thanks to this, animation as a genre is slowly losing the unfortunate and frustrating stigma of only being a reasonable choice to produce if the audience it is aimed at is children and teens. However, overseeing several different animation companies and their staff, which is to say, voice actors, writers, artists, among many, many others, means that there is also a responsibility to make sure that these workers are being treated fairly under the companies hired, which, for a long time, has been a very important problem in the animation industry. For a long time, artists and writers in the animation industry have been overworked, underpaid, and otherwise exploited in more ways than I can list here. This is in part, of course, to the industry's history and stigma, but more so due to the overall trend of exploiting workers in the entertainment industry and in the United States in general. For this purpose, of course, there are unions. A notable one for the purposes of this speech is the Animation Guild, which, for simplicity's sake, I will refer to as TAG from here on out. TAG. This union is meant for animation artists, writers, and technicians. The reason why TAG is so important to Netflix is because the company has produced many animated shows and movies, and over 50 of them are covered by this union. This means that TAG is responsible for ensuring that workers have a chance to negotiate with their employers. giving them fair treatment, fair wages, among other things that are considered workers' rights. This means most animated shows produced by Netflix give their workers some protection. However, not all of them do, as not all of them are covered by a union. A particularly interesting and unfortunate case was that of the adult animated show by the name BoJack Horseman. The show is not covered by a union, and as a result, the staff for BoJack does not have a say in what happens to them under the hired company. The working conditions of those who are making the show are often exploitative and unfair, and unequal to the benefits and pay of other workers in Netflix original shows, despite being by the exact same distributor, Netflix itself, and in the same industry, animation. The show, BoJack, has gathered immense success and critical acclaim, but despite this, their wages are well below the standard of the industry, and their conditions are not good. The artists working on it have wanted to unionize since the very first season, only to be discouraged by their employers time and time again. The situation escalated when a different animated Netflix original called Final Space that is covered under a union began working in the same offices. Coworkers would see them do the same work right in front of them for much better benefits and pay. Artists had to organize a strike to finally make their demands heard, to change their unequal conditions under the distributor. It's very important to mention the reason why BoJack was wildly acclaimed as an animated show that earned Netflix a lot of praise and revenue. BoJack is an adult show with a realistic look at the complex struggles we face under an unjust society. It is about depression and anxiety, about human suffering and injustice of many different kinds. The big and cruel irony in this situation is that Netflix, the company producing it, proved to be part of the problem, apathetic and shallow enough to host and profit off of a genuine story and message about injustice and human suffering, while enabling and allowing the same injustice in the very production of the show, all because they refused to raise the budget.